Hi, my name's Troy Jacobson, and I'm the head endurance sports coach at Lifetime Fitness. And today I want to talk about the Lifetime Fitness Triathlon at Lake Nokomis in Minneapolis. This is one of the top triathlons in the country, and it consists of both an Olympic distance race and a sprint distance race. And as you might know, the Olympic distance is a 1.5K swim, a 40K bike, and a 10K run. And the sprint distance is a 0.4 mile swim, a 15-mile bike, and a 3-mile run. So you can choose to do either one depending on your experience or level of ability. Today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of getting ready for the Lifetime Fitness Triathlon, starting with going through registration, to race morning, to the end of the race. Just go over the very basics in this short video clip so you have a better understanding. And of course you can always refer to ltftriathlon.com to learn more specifics about the race, and I do highly recommend you do that as well. The first thing you need to do after you've registered for the Lifetime Fitness Triathlon is to attend the event expo the day before the race. This is held at the Minneapolis Convention Center. There, you'll go through packet pickup, and you'll also see all the different manufacturers displaying their goods, the latest in triathlon equipment. You have a great time there. You'll also be able to listen to different course talks, as well as listen to different pros and other experts talk about training. So definitely plan to go to the expo and spend a couple hours there checking everything out. So after you attend the expo, make sure you have a good carbohydrate loading meal for dinner, and then get a good night's sleep. The next morning, make sure that you wake up at least a few hours before the race starts, because you want to make sure your body's nice and warmed up and ready to go. You need to exit the transition area at around 6:30 a.m. So make sure you get to transition in plenty of time to get your bike set up, get your transition area set up, and so that you're nice and relaxed. The pros go off at 7. You definitely want to see that, because these are the best athletes in the world competing for the Toyota Cup. So get there, make sure you see the pros go off, because it's an amazing spectacle to see these incredible athletes race. Then when your wave is up, you'll be staged according to your age group. So make sure that you're with the other age groupers and you're in the right area in plenty of time, so there's no rush. And of course, this is after you've done a little bit of a warm-up so that you're nice and loose, because you never want to start the race off cold. So after you've been in the staging area, you'll walk up to the race start. And it's a beat start, so you need to be mentally prepared for that, because when the gun goes off, you need to rush into the water with everyone else. So make sure that you run into the water, do some dolphin dives to get as much distance as you can. Of course, seat yourself appropriately. If you're a really accomplished swimmer, you can get towards the front. But if you're not that confident in your swimming just yet, be towards the back or towards the side. It's not a big deal. You're not going to lose a lot of time. So the gun goes off for your age group. You get into your nice steady rhythm. You go out maybe a little bit harder just to establish position. And of course, you can draft in the swim. Take advantage of that by getting on somebody's feet, because you'll be able to conserve energy. So you go through the entire swim to the best of your ability, and then you're coming towards the end of the swim into T1, transition 1, from the swim to the bike. So you keep swimming, and when do you get up? When your hand touches the ground, that's when you get up. And you start running out of the water, and at the same time you're starting to bring your wetsuit down to your waist, bring your goggles up to your forehead, and start running through transition. They'll even have little pools out there where you can step through to wash your feet off before you get to the transition area, so make sure you do that as well. So you run to your bike, hopefully your transition area is set up, and hopefully you've practiced transition, because you know what? That is free speed. Hopefully you get to your bike and it's a really quick process. Putting your helmet on, strapping your helmet, grabbing your sunglasses, putting your sunglasses on, grabbing your bike, and then running your bike to the mount area. Now some people will run in their shoes, others will attach their shoes to their pedals and actually get on the bike and put their shoes on while they're riding. So you get on the bike and then you start your bike leg. Make sure you start drinking right away too, because it can be hot and humid out there, and you've already swam about a mile if you're doing the Olympic distance, and less than a half mile if you're doing the sprint, but you're starting to get a little bit dehydrated. So make sure you start taking in your fluids right away on the bike. That's really important. So you're off on the bike, and you're going to pace yourself, because it is going to be a hot day, and you know what? You're going to be going hard out there. So make sure you pace yourself properly. Don't go out too hard. That's called burning your matches. So you want to go out at a pace that you can sustain for the entire 40K bike split, remembering too that you have to run 10K at the very end. So you want to have good legs at 3 miles into that final run. So pace yourself accordingly. As you get towards the end of the bike leg, start loosening it up a little bit, maybe stand up, stretch your legs out, starting to prepare yourself mentally for that next transition into the run. That's really important. As you're coming in off the bike into transition 2, get ready to dismount by taking your feet out of your shoes so that you can hop off the bike and run the bike right back to your transition area, where you're going to have your shoes set up, your race number, and anything else you might need to go out on the run. Now the pros do this in under 15 seconds, and if you practice, you'll be able to do that as well. But you need to practice your transitions. That's really important. So you go through transition, get your shoes on, put your visor on, whatever else you might need, and off you go on the run. Now for the 10K run, you do need to be mindful of your nutrition. Make sure you're grabbing fluids out there. Maybe grab a gel so that you can have some sugar too to keep your energy levels up. But get out there on the run. Again, pace yourself. That first half mile or so, your legs might be tired and you might not have a really great stride, but you'll eventually work into your regular stride, and hopefully you're working on your brick workouts in your training where you're transitioning from the bike to the run and you get used to that kind of transition. But once you're out on the run, try to maintain your pace and try to even split those miles, mile after mile after mile, so that you can finish really strong. Again, hitting those aid stations, especially if it's a hot and humid day, as it most likely will be. Finally, when you get to the end of the run, you can start celebrating because you've had a fantastic race. Hopefully you've achieved your goals, and you can then tell all the war stories at the post-race events with all your friends. So that's the basic overview of the Lifetime Fitness Triathlon and how to prepare for it. If you have any questions or further questions, please again visit ltftriathlon.com, or if you have any training questions, you can go to lifetimeendurance.com and learn about coaching and some of the other services that we offer. So I hope you have a great race. I hope to see you out there on race day. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly, and that's Troy at lifetimeendurance.com. Until we see each other next time, train safe and train smart.